So I want everybody to know that I'm here under duress. They plied me with booze and drugs and told me that
Cat, how do you cut that?
We are like currently
if I didn't cooperate, I wouldn't get any cookies.
You wouldn't get. How much longer? Where did you get a cookie?
Where did they go?
So I just want everybody to know whatever happens here is completely a sham.
I had a boss tell me that I sounded like a space cowboy.
Fucking wank, didn't it?
No, she told me that I sounded like a space cowboy. She says, you sound like you're from the Middle West, but from the South at the same time. You're probably like a space cowboy or something. I said, that's a pretty cool idea. I like that.
The Sham Show.
Hey guys, this is the Sham Show. Marco, Curtis, Slouch, and this is my dad.
I've heard a lot about you and your Brady's dad, and Brady went a decent amount of his life without he knew you, but like he never met you in person until the last few years, right?
That is a lie. Up until he was 18 months old, he knew me every day.
All right. Hard to remember.
I never said he would remember it. I just said it's not the first time he
still
met
saw
me.
you. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right. To clear the record.
Keep the record straight.
Right.
Or as sinuously curvy as possible.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. And then in Brady's more recent memory, he met you, and
Yeah, that's the mainest thing.
yeah, he was how old? Like 20.
I was 21, I think, when I
Yeah,
met
21.
you.
And then you were in Louisiana.
Oh, so you jumped from age to states just like that?
I was just wondering where was it. You tell it. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, okay, well, let's go with the state. Yeah, I was in Louisiana. Have you heard about the bear that walked into the bar? Bear walked into the bar and says, "Can I have a gin and tonic, please?" Bartender says, "Sure, but why the big pause?" He says, "I'm a bear."
So a horse walks into a bar and asks for a whiskey on the rocks.
Bartender says, "Hey, why such a long face?"
Yeah, and the horse promptly shits on the floor and leaves. Because it's a fucking horse.
It's a fucking horse and it's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna talk to a horse. Horse is a horse, of course, unless it's the famous Mr. Ed.
I'm afraid you missed us with that one.
I was certainly missed.
You'll have to look that up. That's what you youngins are famous for, aren't you? You just look everything up on Google if you don't understand it, don't you?
Google Foo is my second language.
Google what?
Google Foo.
What the hell is Google Foo?
I have a
Is
black
that
belt.
some kind of fucking network lookup browser service?
What are you talking about? I'm just really good at Googling.
Oh!
I have a black belt in Google Foo.
So you got Google thumbs.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at Googling.
Okay, on to the rest of it. What were we here for?
Talking about
Oh, that's
stuff.
right. They got me here under duress.
You're in a
We
dress?
did not.
Under duress.
In a dress? Okay, what kind of dress? Like a sundress or like a long, like red carpet kind of one? Or...
No, like tomboy, fuck your shit up if you keep talking clap to me. It's kind of dress. That's how it is.
That's a wild kind of dress.
Yeah.
You were gonna tell stories?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a bunch of stories.
All right. So refresh my memory. Which story was I gonna tell you? Cause I've got thousands of them.
You almost ripped open some good ones at dinner time.
What's the first illegal thing?
I
you've ever
told
done?
you I'm not gonna talk about you.
That's the first illegal thing you've ever done? So what do you do for a living? Are you so?
I'm a bum.
You're a bum?
I'm a bum.
No, you drive a truck and things.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I'm a bum. I sit around on my ass all day, run around in circles, just trying to drop me rocks off.
So, but what you actually do is that you're a truck driver and you deliver water to fracking sites, correct?
Absolutely incorrect.
Incorrect. You take water from fracking sites.
Yes, there you go.
There we go.
I don't know how many times I got to tell you before you finally understand.
I-
But now it's on whatever it is. So you can look back and find out anytime you're having an issue with understanding. Yes, we take water from the fracking sites.
But you don't have to bring in clean water to do fracking?
Occasionally, yes.
Occasionally, yes.
Occasionally, yes.
What is
So,
fracking? I have no fucking idea.
So fracking or hydrofracking is the proper term, or more precise term is. Honestly, I'm not a scientist. I don't know what the proper term is. But anyway, hydrofracking. They take high pressure water and add a medium, usually sand, and they pump it down a long hole that they've drilled into the ground to receive oil or gas from. Okay, so that the high pressure water and the medium shoot down the hole and create a bunch of cracks or fragments all along the whole drilling site, and those fragments get held open by the sand fragments so that then they can release the oil or gas that's left in the substrate.
Those are a lot of big words.
Yeah, it's way above my head. I don't know what you got me talking about it for.
But basically,
What's wrong with you?
But does
Are you trying to make me look like a blooming idiot?
No, I mean, you're just the guy who does the job, right? I just work here.
No, all I do is fucking bring water or take water away. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, you need fresh water to go down the hole with the sand.
And it cools down the drill.
No.
Does it just carry
It carries the sand.
the sand away from the fracking site?
No, it carries the sand into the hole, into the fragments to hold them open. Well, you're not just listening.
You've lost me.
Well, I thought you were tall enough for it. I didn't realize that you were like this tall and I was talking over to your head.
I don't understand. What's
Nothing goes over my head because I would catch it. I'm too fast.
Catching ninja, are you? Where were you 5 seconds ago?
Got me there.
I don't have an answer for that one, do you?
Oh, no, I don't.
Alright, so, yeah, the water carries...
And so, like, you do the trucking for the water fracking operation, right?
Yes.
But you also own a business doing that, and you also have multiple trucks doing the same thing that you're doing.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Because why should I do all the work?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why did you come up here today? Tell me how this day was planned.
So, like I told you before, I was running around, driving around town. I wasn't paying attention to how much juice I had in my vape.
Just vaping away.
Yeah, just vaping away.
Like
I
you
wasn't
do.
even looking at the side of the tank. I'm just driving.
Driving and vaping.
You know, like for 10 hours or so. And I realized when I got that burnt taste in my mouth that I was negligent with the amount of juice in my vape. So I'm like, now my cotton's burnt. So I figured I'd come up here and ask you for some cotton because 10 hours away from the house.
Yeah, so like the only place that you get cotton was within 10 hours of of where we are at right now.
No, you missed that completely. I was already 10 hours from the house, which puts me marginally closer to you than where I live.
Okay.
So I figured I'd just ask you.
You might as well.
Might as well. I mean, since I was doing a beer run and bringing this critter up here.
That's a magnificent critter.
Norman Killer Baskin.
So my dad felt that Mr. Marco here needed a crawfish, so he drove just a measly 13, 14 hours up here to deliver said crawfish during a beer run.
Louisiana crawfish, so.
It's a Louisiana
That's
crawfish.
so cool.
Yeah. Is it humane for me to like put him out on the table?
Oh yeah, he can breathe in or out of the water. He's good.
Oh.
You just don't want to keep him out of the water permanently because he needs to be moist. But
So like a minute out?
he can survive longer than a minute. I mean, he actually does breathe air.
He's a fast little bastard.
Yeah, he is a fast little bastard, and he's gonna get you.
Yeah.
He's gonna squirt directly backwards.
Sits in here, right?
Yeah, that just.
If you
Yeah,
could,
you're gonna have to catch him from behind. Don't be scared. He'll only pinch you every time.
Just shake your mud bugs dry.
Damn it.
Yeah, you should always shake your mud bugs as you're pulling them out of the water.
Don't be mean to him.
I'm sorry.
Come on, he's like a turtle.
I wasn't trying to be mean to him. Oh my god, I'm putting him
Why
back.
are
Hold
you
on.
being so
I didn't
mean
mean to
me?
shake him.
Keep him
I
in there.
wasn't trying to be mean to you. I
You
swear.
know,
I was trying.
Mr. Pavlov, you're teaching him a lesson, right? Every time he pinches you, you throw him back in the water.
I know, I get it. I get it.
that was really bad.
You should give him a little dry area where you got some rocks so you can put him on.
I get it. I'm sorry. What's his name? Norman
Norman
I
Killer
apologize.
Baskin.
Damn it. I can't even blame him. Alright, I'm gonna get him out one more time.
All right, I'm not sure where the Norman and the Baskins came from. I know where the killer came from. There was actually 3 of these when I started my trip, but this little mean bastard killed the other 2.
Yeah.
Was he bigger than the
Come
other
on,
ones?
Norman.
Yes.
Come on, buddy.
I mean, not,
But not like
not
significantly.
humongous, but
Norman.
at least you have the good sense to throw them towards the water when you get scared.
It's just a crawfish.
I mean, it's not like it's a pit bull. He's got like 600
I'm not
pounds
scared.
per
I'm just-
square inch of grip
Alright,
strength.
Listen, I got his bitch ass.
He'll kill other crawfish, but he ain't gonna kill
I'm not
you.
scared, I'm just laughing. Get over here.
I don't believe you.
About ended up in that beer.
Whoa, where you going, Bo?
All right, antagonize Marco.
Alright. I don't want to abuse the animal, but he's good. No, he's
It's
fine.
not abuse.
We'll cut out of your.
Yeah, he's like a fucking insect bug thing. Get over here, buddy.
Does he smoke?
Fight me. Oh, we're making this fair? Okay. Oh, Norman. Look at you. You're on land and you're in water. You're so cool. Yeah, he's good though. Like he's not even suffocating. He's trying to fight.
They can breathe air, right?
Yeah, they are air breathing,
So he could be
which
out
is why you
for-
have to have the air stone in there.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, buddy.
He's aggressive.
He's angry.
Well, I mean,
I kind of want him to pinch me to feel
You're
how it
fucking
feels.
poking at him every
He's
2
got a
seconds
little
now,
bit.
aren't you?
Not bad. He's a sea spider.
He looks delicious.
He got 10 legs, not even 8.
Have you ever had
He's
crawfish?
always trying to
Oh,
fight.
yeah. Curtis?
Look at him always trying to fight.
See, you people are strange. See, down in Louisiana, we just eat the little bastards.
Right, we're playing with him. Like, oh, you can see what's.
I mean, that's a little cruel to play with your food like that.
Yeah. We'll put him in the water.
Well, he's the.
At least he retaliates.
Right, he's feisty, you know.
He doesn't take Marcus.
Bro! Why? I'm putting you in. You don't want to go in?
Norman, you need to settle down.
You just touched him so many times.
He thinks you're about to eat him.
Fuck you. I'll eat you. You're like a cool crab. Or no.
He's got
not
such a
cool
nice red
crab.
color
You're like
to
a
him.
cool shrimp. You're like a feisty shrimp.
They get bright red when you cook them.
You're like a feisty shrimp.
Crayfish around here, they're like
Huh?
a darker tone.
You're like a shrimp
that
with
I've
attitude.
seen.
They actually have blue crayfish. There's like over 365, don't quote me exactly,
Have you ever seen
different styles of crayfish.
River Monsters, Jeremy Wade? I happened to see one episode where he was in like Indonesia and he was catching the world's largest freshwater crayfish, and it was at least as large as an average lobster. It's pretty.
So what
impressive.
you're saying is that
It
he
looked-
was catching a lobster that was a little bit too far up the river?
No, they live in streams. They're like a blue, like specifically freshwater
Where was this?
crayfish.
Yeah.
I think it was Indonesia or somewhere.
You know, in Australia, they have like shrimp that are like up to like 2 or 3 pounds. And that's why like they say put a
unreal.
shrimp on the Barbie. Like you wouldn't just put like a regular tiny little shrimp.
But like a whole ass
really?
2
Yeah, that
pound
sounds
shrimp.
delicious.
Right? A giant shrimp? That
Maybe
would
one of
sound.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whole like shrimp meal.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having a shrimp that large around here? How many people would be absolutely scared of the big cockroach that lives in the water behind their house?
That's bigger than a cockroach. I've never seen a 2 or 3 pound cockroach.
Like a sea cockroach.
Yeah, that's like that's a massive.
like a freshwater
Yeah.
backyard monster under your bed.
I mean, if
cockroach.
this guy was like 4 or 5 times larger, I'd probably be a little bit scared of it.
Yeah, this. I mean, it
Well,
was easily
then-
like
then-
that with the
then-
pictures.
then you're one better than your boss.
What do you say?
I mean, it's just
He's already scared of it. He's thrown him in the water twice because he pissed him.
I'm not scared of him.
I mean, I've eaten thousands of these buggers.
I have too. I'm not scared of him a bit.
I don't like getting pinched.
I don't like it.
I mean, I feel like a pet shouldn't like attack you.
If he,
Well, maybe he doesn't understand quite yet that he's a pet.
right.
Yeah, he's.
You know, it's like, you know, a kitten that's only been with its mother so far, and you reach in there and you try to get him used to. He's gonna hiss and he's gonna throw them little claws at you.
And you got
Same thing.
you got this guy from a crawfish place.
Yes, this is a rescue operation. We rescue small endangered animals from other Cajuns that would love to eat them.
Get the fuck.
Normally, they are the Cajuns that would love to eat
yeah.
them. But
I said the other Cajuns. I didn't say anything about ourselves. I mean, they're absolutely delicious. I'm not vegan in any way whatsoever.
But he is a mini lobster.
But yeah, this little bastard right here killed 2 other ones in my presence.
He's a convicted killer.
But yeah, needless to say, this is a rescue operation. I brought him 13 hours away from the hell that he was in, just so he could live.
they feed him all sorts of things like peas and ham and whatnot. But
Only
he
the
decides to kill other crawfish.
Yes. If he decides, that's his choice. Is it not? It's his own being, you know. That's
Yeah,
it's
so
his
I
domain.
mean, you're gonna have to handle him often before you
Fucking
understand
Norman
that.
gets to decide how he lives, you know.
Yeah.
I want to. Is it wrong to pull him out? Like,
No, he's not having he breathes air. He just needs the water because he needs to stay moist and cool.
So he can be out here like...
Yeah, he can
So
be out
maybe
here.
like if you put them like
They're not like
dinner
fish
tray
where
with
they
water.
actually have to breathe water. They're
Like, he's like a
crustaceans.
crab, yeah, or whatever. But
You've seen
I don't
crabs on
understand
the
have, you
how
beaches.
long-
have you
how
not seen
long-
crab? Have you been to the ocean?
yeah, I've seen it, but I've
Have
never
you
lived
ever
there.
have you ever heard of salt water?
You know how like reptiles, they gotta have like
Sounds
a,
good.
they gotta just kind of stay warm.
All right,
They're kind of like that, but they gotta stay
Okay, so
watered.
fucking Rip, my bearded dragon.
Yeah,
He's good on land.
Mhm.
He's good on land too.
yeah, he's
He can
good on
chill?
land.
Yes, but
He'll
just
eventually
he's
go
just
back to water.
He's got to be near
How
water.
many times? Like once a day?
They live in like swamps, so like they have like land area to crawl through and find and forage for food.
How many times?
And then they return
how
to
often
the
do I have
watery
to put him in
den.
the tank? Like I don't.
Oh,
even,
he can live in there indefinitely. That's why you got to have the air stone.
I want him out.
I wouldn't keep him like out for like 24 hours at a time.
No, yeah, you
That's what I'm asking.
yeah.
want him out as much
When
as he
when
wants.
you're
But you see, he climbs up the tree
To be out, yeah.
to be out and kind of dry off a little bit. But
I thought he wanted to be in the water.
no, they live in both kind of situations.
yeah, they're amphibious, if you will.
Yeah, they're crustaceans. They breathe air, but
Ah, fucker.
You fuck with me, I'll hit you. Attention, all you girly men and manly girls. We hit you, pump you up. Oh, look, he's teaching him tricks.
I didn't know that he could be out. I thought he was like gonna suffocate.
No, he's fine.
So they're like bugs, but then like sea spiders.
No, they're a crustacean, like a crab,
they're like
a crab or a miniature lobster, if you will.
like if a fish became an insect, they're kind of like that.
And then they can be out of the water for most of a day, but they should go back to water.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, they're kind of like turtles. You know, they need to keep wet.
Okay.
Hey, buddy, settle down.
Bass bait.
I don't know.
That's what it is.
You ever use cicadas for fishing?
I never
Fish.
I know
fish
cicadas,
love-
but I've never used them.
Yeah, fish love cicadas.
This
Yeah,
guy,
it's
by the way,
cicada.
will eat any feeder fish you want to put in the tank with him.
You could put minnows in there.
Oh, did they bring the minnows? No, they didn't.
They didn't get
Minnows,
you
that
guys
was
any
the-
minnows?
No.
He eats ham too.
We tried to give him some ham. He doesn't really.
I don't think he enjoys it as
Yeah,
much.
he doesn't enjoy
I
it.
know you can catch them with like bait fish and they'll grab on and.
Oh yeah, you're gonna
Uh,
spin around and kill the bait. Go right ahead.
Another hater.
You're a Democrat, aren't you?
Settle down, Norman. Why are you so antsy? I know you're like 13 hours away from your home.
So if you guys
but
had to put money on it, he's gonna live for like a year.
Oh, we just talked to a friend of ours. I mean, I've never kept a crawfish. I mean, they're simply food for me. But we just talked to a friend the other day, and he said a few years ago he went to a crawfish boil, and you know, I don't know. Yeah, you've obviously never been to a crawfish boil.
Yeah, it's like a table
But-
like this, and they put a mat out, and they just put all the like fucking crawfish and corn and like. I've
Okay,
had
so
some-
how do you suppose the crawfish got to the state where they're ready to be put on the table?
I'm assuming that they were
They-
fucking grabbed, and then maybe they were boiled, and then packaged, and then shipped.
Okay, so they're caught live,
boil 'em.
right?
Yeah.
They're caught live. Then you've got to they're a freshwater crustacean, so you need to purge them so that you get all the crap out of their digestive system. And,
Oh, why do you only pinch me, you bitch? I swear. Who else does he pinch?
He likes you.
Name one other person.
I've not seen him pinch any one person. He has killed 2 of his mates, but he's not pinched any other person than you.
He's cute though.
So
You know they have like real strong like closing force, but their like open force isn't very strong.
How do you eat them again? Go on.
you mean like an alligator's mouth?
Yeah, like an alligator. Like you can keep them closed, but you can't like pry them apart. So like if you want to capture an alligator, you just tape their mouths and they can't open it up.
I'm faster than you. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, to get there, they have to be purged, which they do by submersing them into salt water. It makes them sick, makes them throw up, makes them have boo-boos, whatever. Clean their whole system out before they're boiled.
They'll purge their
entire digestive tract.
Why? To eat them or to keep them?
Yeah,
out
so
the
that they're
Like,
clean
you know,
before you cook them. So when you eat them, then you're not eating a bunch of yellow mush.
You know how they have like fish that are like, or shrimp that are deveined?
Yeah.
You know, they remove that little brown spout because that's
Yes.
basically the digestive system of the shrimp, and you probably shouldn't
Yeah,
be
their
eating
their
it.
poop chute.
Yeah.
Their poop chute,
Yeah.
for lack of better words.
Yes.
No, I don't think there's any better words. I think yeah, you're right.
You-
Correct. A lack of better words. Yeah, that's
There are no.
yeah. There's no better words. They're
I
just
don't
their
think-
poop chute.
Yeah, I don't think you could say poop chute any worse than poop chute.
So do they die in the salt water or do they die in the oil?
No, they die in these boiling ass water.
Yeah.
Like you would like a lobster,
Like-
you cook a lobster.
Yeah, instant
just have to be
death
purged.
in the water. You know, they might scream, but we can't hear it, so I'm cool with it.
But
Quick
basically,
enough.
they put them in a brine solution to get rid of any
The excrement.
Yeah, excrement.
Makes sense.
Like a
Yeah,
fucking.
because when you're eating tail, obviously you want to make sure that the poop chute is clear.
Right. Right.
Absolutely.
Every time. Good life advice.
Speaking of life advice, so you want the real tip to living old and feeling good about yourself.
Sure.
So
Oh, biting it?
here's the mainest thing that I can
I'm
impart
fine,
to
I mean,
you,
it's cool.
young people.
Don't-
And listen well, because I'm being serious. The main key to life is never pet a burning dog. And listen well.
I really ruined it.
Do you think
You wouldn't
Norman
wanna-
could get any bigger?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How much bigger
Yeah.
do you think?
Well, I mean,
kinda
they'll
smart.
get up to 3-4 inches.
So he's probably what 3 inches right now? You think? So you think he would probably get
Yeah,
an inch
he'll-
longer?
he'll- longer.
Yeah, he'd get at least an inch longer.
Yeah.
And it really depends on how much space he has.
He's a sea spider.
Yeah. Do you think that
So
Marco should upgrade this little cylinder?
Yeah, this little cylinder was just a shipping vessel.
Is there any other fish that Marco could have that
Like I could have.
they could naturally live with, Norman?
Of course, for about 2 days each.
Yeah. You think he would fuck shit up?
Oh yeah, that's how he eats.
Yeah. Fucking.
He's from the stream.
That's how I eat.
Right?
Stream spider.
If you ain't fucking your dinner up every night, then there's something wrong with it.
That's not dinner.
Yeah, it's
You ain't
not-
fucking it up. It ain't dinner.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Curtis, use your hands. Are you scared?
I don't
Sea
like getting
bugs.
pinched, man. It makes
Give
fuck
him
you
a
get
little
pinched.
Let him have a little pinch.
I don't want to do
How
it
do you
because
how do you expect him to be a model pet when you're just giving him the cold shoulder?
Right.
I mean, I'll pet him. See?
Do you want to get the bun?
Are you really petting his ass?
Yeah.
Oh.
What should I call
Do you think any animal enjoy? Do you? Well, no, I don't want to know the answer to that question.
He's a crawling sea bug.
When we went four wheeling down in Louisiana, I came back and I was covered in mud and I had a crawfish on my back. That's how common they are. You know, if you go ripping through some mud, one of them's bound to land on you.
It's like a grasshopper.
He's making some weird noises.
It's a water. It's a mud bug.
He's trying to fuck someone up.
He's getting ready to fuck up that cheap beer.
Log it up.
I don't blame you, buddy. Get after it.
Yeah. So, God damn it! Someone
Like
help me
Claw versus
understand.
Red
Is he
Claw.
native to water or fucking land?
They're amphibious.
He's amphibious.
I don't know what that means.
They're like a frog.
That means he can breathe air or
Where is
be
he more
underwater.
comfortable?
Yes. He's
Yes.
more comfortable. Yes.
So he's good like that?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's good like that. He just has to have water nearby so that he can
Us Midwest.
continue to
Us
be moist.
Midwesterners feel guilty.
You do
Well,
what?
I don't know, but I just feel guilty. Like, damn, he should be in the water, but he's good. Look at him.
Yeah, he's getting out of here.
But he's not like a slug or like he doesn't crawl. Like you said, you found a crawfish on your bag.
Yeah.
But that's not normal. Like usually they're in the water.
They're around the water. They're on the banks.
Yeah, but it's not like you're gonna be in your house and one's gonna crawl on your bed.
No,
No,
they're
no.
not like scorpions, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. They're not
They-
going to
they
just
stay-
crawl
they
on
Mostly
out.
water and then like banks.
I would
Right.
say they stay within 100 yards of water.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a primarily aquatic
Yeah.
species.
And delicious.
And delicious. And angry. Look at him. He is so angry.
You gonna procreate? You gonna
Big
make
mad?
babies?
Or
Fucking
just
eat
little
them?
mad.
Do you know how they like sex them? How is that a boy or a girl?
He's a champion.
I don't have a microscope that goes that far. I don't know if he's got a dick or not.
No. You just eat them?
Well, let's not go too far into that when I just talked about what I don't know if he's got a dick or not.
That's cool for us. Okay.
We got crayfish around here, but they look way different.
Yeah, they're much smaller.
Smaller.
He's a fighter. He's a stallion. We're gonna fight.
How many legs do they got? 1, 2,
Yeah,
3,
he's-
8.
Yep, 8.
8 and two claws. That's wild.
Yeah, so he's an arachnid with weapons.
They're spiders plus 2.
Yep. Spiders plus.
Not as many eyes though. They traded the many eyes for the
And
pinchers.
he's got his front little antenna. Or
Yeah,
That's another
they got.
appendage.
Oh yeah, they got 12. They would have to have 12.
Well,
yeah, those
actually,
have to count for something.
actually, his antenna, that's how
But
he pre-tastes his food.
like with his by his mouth.
Right? He's got those little
Oh, yeah, yeah,
mandibles, right?
Well, actually, no, them are little hands.
What's
like a T-Rex with 8 pairs of legs behind him instead of just his 2 little arms and 2 big legs.
Yeah, he's got extras.
Yeah. So a T-Rex with 8 legs and 2 pinchers behind his fucking little hands.
Great pet, but also fucking delicious.
They're so weird. Like their mouths are just kind of like filters, so they just kind of go up and like accept the nutrients and then let it go. Like have you seen that? It's just kind of like a like there's like folds of like flesh or.
But you know how many times I've pinched the tail and soaked the head?
We're not talking about your fetishes or whatever. That's weird.
I'm talking about
Okay,
eating.
continue.
I'm talking about eating crawfish.
We can cut this out. That's
That's one of
fine.
my fetishes.
Well,
You like pinching tail and soaking head?
I was,
wanna hold
I was
them?
just saying eating crawfish.
Just like grab them right here, and you can hold them as much as you want.
Yeah.
Probably kind of scares them, but
You're so delicious.
What a specimen.
What kind is this? Strawberries and cream.
Listen to his little
Creamy.
noises.
Okay, so if you had, there's one of two options to describe Marco. Do you think he's Italian or Sicilian?
Fuck you.
So,
That's a loaded question.
I think he's a Guido. What do you? I mean,
Yeah, it's just
So
fucking
are Guidos Sicilian or Italian?
I think they're just,
fucking Guido.
They're Italian Americans.
no. A Guido is like the epitome of Italiano.
Yeah.
That runs around with his chest haired out and a pair of gold thongs. You know, a Guido.
Gold thongs?
Yeah, because he thinks he's a macho man.
Do you have your chain on today?
No, dude, bro.
So so it's an Italian version of. So you know who Hugh Jackman is, right?
Yeah.
So you've seen a
Is
picture.
Hugh Jackman Italian?
No.
Italian.
He's just a hairy man.
Wait. I'll explain.
Okay.
Okay, so Hugh Jackman he runs around with his shirt off. He's all buff, fucking 8-pack, not just a 6-pack, big pecs, really manly, fucking woodsman, rugged type, athletic dude. Well, Guidos are like that, only they're, bird chest.
Bird chest.
Bird
Yeah,
chest.
they think they look like Hugh Jackman, but they're really slender, and, until they get older and they get fat. But
They're not like us Scandinavians where we're real.
they're not like the Scottish, Danish, fucking manly man.
Oh yeah, you right? Can't even argue with that.
Oh wait a minute, are we rolling?
We've been rolling for a while.
You didn't fucking. I need to know if my hair's okay.
So,
Can you tell us what you've been doing with your hair?
As least as possible. I don't shampoo it daily. I don't get up and have to brush it or eat.
So you're not bald, correct?
Not at this moment, but I'm happily trying to get there. They have laser hair removal.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been having that done on my entire scalp so that I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
Amen.
Word to the wise, for you older women, gray hair does not work. If it does not have any pigment in the hair follicle, then laser removal will not work. So if you're old and you have 630 titties and it's all gray down there, don't worry about getting a laser Brazilian wax. Nobody wants to see that shit anyway.
So just go with the gray.
Rock the gray. If you have hair with no pigmentation in it, then there's nothing to transmit the light. And you know what fiber optics are?
Hitman.
Yeah.
Okay, so
They're just clear filaments. So basically, laser removal just removes the pigmentation from your hair.
no, I'm saying, all right, you know how light travels down fiber optics?
Yeah.
Okay,
So it just travels down your hair to remove.
light travels down fiber optics, but if the fiber optics are not 100% correct, then you get degradation.
So if you were to
I know
like
you're
try to,
So if I was trying to get rid of this right here, and it's not going to work.
yeah, you would like. So basically, if you were to laser treat your beard, you would only keep the grayish parts of your beard.
Right. Which would look stupid.
Yes.
Stupid.
Yeah. Hey, have I ever told you about the story of?
I heard.
It's real bad.
Ask him again.
What up?
What is it about Marco? Because that is the only person he's pinched.
I don't know, man. I kind of tried to get him to pinch me a little bit, but
Well, I put both hands in front of his head. He just
Yeah.
crawled up on him.
He's one of those Italians, you know. Animals can sense things.
And they do fracking everywhere. But right now, everything's kind of slowed down because of the between the coronavirus and the big influx of cheap oil from OPEC. They've
From where? Because I heard it was Saudi Arabia, and Russia that were kind of in like a price war.
OPEC is that's the Middle Eastern Association of Oil Producers or whatever. I don't know what the acronym stands for exactly, but yeah, they flooded the market with cheap oil.
Mm-hmm. And that was a Saudi Arabia and Russia thing?
Yes.
Which happened kind of right before the coronavirus pandemic
Oh.
came to fruition. Which I didn't know about, and I think most people don't know about.
Well, what's interesting about that, they flooded the market with cheap oil, and Trump. Say what you want about the man, but he's a shrewd businessman, and he bought up as much of it as he could, and he completely refilled the national oil reserves that were depleted during the Obama administration.
Wow.
So I mean,
I had no idea.
I don't know if you know anything about the national oil reserves are there.
I've been trying to learn more about it because, I mean, gas prices.
So it's an oil depository, if you will. It's the emergency reserves for what we would need if
like in a time
shit
of
hit
crisis.
the fan. Yeah.
Okay. Like wartime or
wartime or whatever, the amount of oil we would need to lubricate, power, fuel all of our planes and machines of war, and what we would need to defend ourselves. So that's the National Oil Reserve. It has absolutely nothing to do with this is how much we need for you to drive your car for the next 10 years. It's got nothing to do with it. It's all about national
military and government
security,
type of
yes.
facilities. Okay.
Yes.
So Trump replenished that supply, which was assumably dwindling during the Obama administration.
Yeah. So during the Obama administration, he shut down or seriously reduced the amount of oil produced on American soil. So, and he wasn't buying anything, so he was using the National Reserve to fuel the country.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay, and by doing that and then buying only when it was high, he diminished the National Reserve to nothing. Okay, so when Trump came into office, he opened up the oil fields and allowed the oil fields to go full blast again. All right, prices were high, but then we weren't buying anything from OPEC. OPEC was holding back on theirs. So, all business is booming again. Well, right before all this COVID stuff came out, then OPEC flooded the market with cheap oil, and really all they did was they were giving it away just to financially, yeah. It was a pressure move.
So, wow. I guess I need to learn more about OPEC. But I'm assuming that that's a foreign type of administration?
Yes.
I see.
Yes,
Probably
that's
from the
not
Middle
U.S.
East.
controlled at all. Yeah, that's.
But that's what undoubtedly contribute to the ridiculous low gas prices we see now, right? And oil prices.
Yes, well, that's a combination of
Economic impact.
plus the big sham scare about COVID-19, everybody's staying home, so nobody's buying fuel. So in order to move anything, they have to continuously reduce the price. I've seen on my way between Louisiana and here, I've seen it $1 a gallon.
Yeah, I've seen it 99 cents.
Yeah, $1 a gallon. When
I heard that oil
month and a
futures
half
are-
ago, it was $2.50 a gallon in some places, $4 a gallon in others. Yeah, it's.
I saw recently that oil futures are negative.
Yeah,
I guess I don't really know what
I
that
was seeing
implies,
somewhere where it was like negative 32 a barrel, which a barrel, by the way, for those of you who don't know, a barrel is 42 U.S. gallons equals a barrel
Of crude oil.
of crude oil.
It's normally expressed.
Of crude oil. So I saw a post where it was negative $32 a barrel. I mean, I'm no strategist or economist or anything, but so you're going to pay $32 a barrel to get rid of it? Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm saying. Like a negative figure for that, just I can't
that's-
really even fully
that's-
comprehend what that means.
Yeah, that's not comprehensible. I mean, yeah, give me
Right? Yeah, I got space for it. So bring 'em on.
$32 a barrel. Bring it all to.
This
I
address.
will. I've got 16 acres of nothing but woodland. I will happily clear that, and you can build a skyscraper of your negative $32 a barrel oil.
Absolutely.
Um,
Sign me
I'll
up.
take it all.
Yeah, no, that's where my mind went when I heard that type of a figure for an oil future.
Yeah, that's ridiculous because I mean, you can be as green or vegan as you want, or PETA activist or whatever you want to, whatever kind of crazy little mission you want to go get yourself off into. You can do all that all you want to, but even the wind machines have to have oil for lubrication or they're going to die.
I see what you're saying, and I agree with that. There's no way we can just switch to independent energy sources like that.
Well,
whole world's
and not only that, all right, so all these green people, they like to tout how good an all-electric car is. But then
This
they
is
don't.
a good one. I know where you're going.
They don't realize how much oil and fossil fuels were used to make those batteries for their green machine, and when it's all said and done, they've caused more of a carbon footprint for their little feel-good moment of driving an electric vehicle than anybody else uses fossil fuel to fuel their cars. Because when their battery goes out, what do they got to do? They got to go buy another battery, and they just keep revolving.
We're just turning energy that's from fossil fuels into electricity.
Yeah, exactly.
Coal,
Exactly. That's all.
We're not
All
quite
the
there
pieces
yet
and parts
with-
have to be mined. All of that has to come into the market. It has to be produced. Yeah, they're not saving anything.
That's a tough one. Because
And-
it makes
and
sense on paper, but until you backtrack it,
Right.
until
Well,
we switch
I've
over
seen
to
pictures
independent
of.
energy at large.
I've seen pictures of electric vehicle fueling stations that were powered by diesel generators. How is that? How is that?
laughable.
I mean,
It's laughable.
and I mean the diesel generators are right next to the electrical connection to the car. I mean, how can you miss it? So. the power
I mean,
has to
electric
come from
cars are
somewhere.
really cool, though. I'll give them.
They are cool. I think they're great. You got some supercars that are hybrids. Like there's a Porsche that's got like 900 some horsepower, but it's half electric. It's a gas motor with an electric assist, and it's got ungodly torque and instant off the line. That's a great use for electric power.
Absolutely.
Instant
release.
That's
so
awesome.
responsive.
Yeah, instant response where you step on the gas pedal of a regular car and it's got to build up because it builds horsepower and torque on a curve by RPM. But with an electric vehicle, it's instant.
You can just dump
You dump all the energy into that motor at one time, and it'll put you back in your seat.
It's unreal.
That's awesome. My only
but as
problem
far
with
as reducing your carbon footprint, we're not there yet.
Reducing your carbon footprint, anybody that's got half a brain can look and see how those batteries are produced and what it takes to continue to charge those batteries, and they can say, well, this is at best even. But that's only if they're painting the best light on the subject.
Ideal.
Okay.
Background.
So yeah, I mean that's not even in consideration. But electric vehicles. My main problem with an electric vehicle is so Harley. I'm a bike rider. Harley came out with an electric bike, and every time I go to a rally, got one of their guys running around saying, "Hey, come test ride the Livewire," which is their electric bike. Right? You won't believe, it's a really exceptional ride. You won't believe the power, and I'm like,
just doesn't do it for
I don't, I don't doubt your sales gimmick, but it's not for me. And they're like, why? And I said, well, it boils down to one thing: fuel. All right, so electric vehicle has a range of maybe 200 miles, right? Okay, the good ones, the high dollar Tesla, 300.
Call it 300.
Call it 300. The average mileage for an average tank of gas. Here's the difference.
You have to wait for that fucker to charge.
You can go across country and you can stop at a gas station and refill your tank of gas all the way across the country. But
energy accessibility.
Even at best, if you could find a quick charge station, it takes 30, 45 minutes to recharge your car. All right. So you go 200 miles, that's roughly 3 hours. And you have to wait for an hour.
It's not feasible.
To get charged versus 10 minutes and you're back on the road. No, it's not feasible.
Well, do you think that maybe electric motorcycles would be a slower charging or a faster charging rate because they can...
No, that's my problem. I've already checked that out.
Because they probably don't have the same capacity.
Might charge faster than a full-size battery, but it's still going to take time.
Here's the thing with charging rates. You're charging for amperage hours and voltage, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to bring it from whatever discharged voltage it is up to full charge, which generally means actually more than the nominal voltage on the battery.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have a like an 18650, the voltage is 3.7, but the nominal voltage is 4.2.
Right.
So you actually have to charge the battery.
You have to overcharge it for what it claims that the voltage is. All right, so that's going to work the same whether it's a bank of 4 parallel batteries or if it's a single battery.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
because if they're parallel, then they discharge at the same rate and they're working together. All they're doing is adding more amp hours.
So, like, I feel like the biggest thing with electric cars is that, like, Tesla, when they sell you a car, they say, hey, free energy, right?
Right.
So you buy a car, you can go to any of their charging stations. You don't have to pay a dime to charge up your car.
But somebody does.
Yes, it does take up time, and yes, the local economy will have to pay for it, and Tesla will end up having to pay for it. But is it worth the time you're spending? So let's say electric motorcycle takes 15 minutes to charge, and a Tesla car takes 30 minutes. Is it worth it to sit there for 15 minutes and get a free charge and then move on to the next area and charge?
That's the problem. An electric motorcycle on fast charge still takes 30 to 45 minutes. It's not any faster than a car on fast charge. All right, so say you don't have a fast charger. Use an adapter, plug into a 110 outlet. It takes overnight.
Yeah.
So here's my problem with an electric motorcycle. I'm leaving from home and I'm going 500 miles away.
Yeah.
All right, I can do that on a regular bike within a day, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some people kind of cringe at sitting on a bike for that long. It's not a big deal. I mean, you stop every 100 or so miles, fill up, walk around, get something to drink or whatever, go to the bathroom, get back on your bike and go.
Yeah, like
All
with
right,
my
but
bike,
with an
I
electric-
probably do like 150 miles, take a break, fill
Right.
up, and like we have the same bike. Yours is a little more tuned up than mine, so you may do like 100 miles. But do you think that waiting 20, 30 minutes to charge up your bike is worth it?
All right, so that's what I was getting at. All right, so if you could find a fast charging station every 100 miles to recharge your bike, then even then you're spending a lot of time waiting on charging. All right, so I can go on my bike, which goes minimum 200 miles on a tank. All right, I can take a 500-mile trip in a day easy
With like 2 stops.
with 2 stops. All right, with an electric bike, let's just say for being equal and argumentative, they will also go 200 miles
Okay.
on the highway. Okay, so it goes 200 miles. If you could find right at that 200-mile mark a charging station, instead of taking 10 minutes, you're going to take 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
Okay? But that's damn near impossible to say, I'm going to go from my house in any direction I want to, 200 miles, and find an electric charging station. Because the only place they have an electric charging station is in major metropolitan areas.
So you just have to metropolitan hop, basically, to get to.
Well, metropolitan areas aren't evenly spaced at 200 miles.
Yeah.
Okay, and even if they were, they spaced at 200 miles in the direction you want to go or in the other direction. All right, so 9 times out of 8, you follow me? 9 times out of 8, you're going to have to stop and charge with a 110 outlet, and that takes overnight.
Yeah.
So you've taken what would normally take me a decent time amount in a day. You've taken that to a 3-day trip.
But don't you also think that that's just a lack of future planning?
It's a lack of
infrastructure.
infrastructure, yes.
Because we started with horses, right? And when the motorized vehicle came out, we were like, who the fuck cares about that? I just give my horse some apples and it fucking goes.
You're right, but so
Being contemporary, we're just
so
not there yet.
so let's
It's just
let's
like
talk
an evolving
Let's-
infrastructure.
Let's talk evolving infrastructure. So, natural gas or LP or whatever letters you want to put in
Methane.
natural gas vehicles take less amount of gas and less amount of fuel for the same amount of work. They've been around since way before you were born. Natural gas vehicles have.
Okay.
Where's the infrastructure for them?
But do you also think that's influenced by corporations and, big petroleum?
Big petroleum's going to make money off of natural gas or gasoline. Let me tell you something. Crude oil is taken to what they call a cracking tower. Okay, so they take crude oil, they take it to cracking tower. For all you technical people out there who know anything about oil, don't quote me exactly on this. But anyway, they take it to a cracking tower. They fill this tower up with crude oil, right? And it's got a little agitator and spinning around and around and around and around until it separates into layers. All right. On top is aviation gas.
Okay.
The aviation gas produced from that entire tower pays for all of the oil in the whole tower. Anything other than that is pure profit. So your kerosene, your diesel, your gasoline, all of that is pure profit. And all the way down at the bottom is what they call bunker fuel that they put in ships, ocean-going ships.
Okay.
All right, so all of that, the big oil companies, they're going to make their money whether it's on gasoline or natural gas.
So you're saying that that fracking sites make most of their money on light oil refinery, and the heavy oil refinery is just like a bonus?
No, most of your fracking sites nowadays are fracking for natural gas.
Okay.
Instead of oil. But that's all I'm saying is that the oil companies are going to make their money whether it's natural gas or an oil based product.
Oh.
Natural gas vehicles are extremely more efficient at as far as burning fuel for the amount of work done for miles per gallon or whatever.
Efficiency wise.
Not necessarily horsepower, torque, or anything like that. I mean, they kind of seem a little gutless, the ones I drove. But anyway, they do what they need to do. But they've been around for decades.
Maybe even centuries at this point. Because kerosene's been refined
my
for...
fucking God. How long do you think the internal combustion engine has been around?
For about 100 years, and they've been using kerosene for much longer.
So, yeah, a century, but not centuries. I mean, your old man isn't that fucking old.
Well, I'd say that kerosene's probably been used for the last 150 years, whereas gasoline, petroleum products have been used for the last 100.
Yeah.
And then plastic products probably for the last 50 years, right?
Right. Anyway, back to my original point is the LP motors, and really it's the same motor as a gas burning motor. It's just a different fuel delivery system.
Okay.
Same block. You can convert any gasoline burning engine into an LP gas engine.
Okay.
All right. But they've been around for decades. Longer than you've been alive, they've been around. Matter of fact, a decade at least before you were alive. They've been around. But do you see an LP fueling station at every gas station?
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Precisely my point. So you're saying with electric cars, maybe it's just that the infrastructure isn't there yet, but when will the infrastructure get there? And how common will it be? And I mean, honestly, that would be a boon for convenience stores and fueling stations, because then you've got somebody that's stuck there for 30 to 45 minutes fueling up their green car and spending money in your store. Yeah, that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Do you think that infrastructure-wise, the reason that LP engines aren't as popular is because that light oil petroleum is more easily produced? There's much more of it per fracking site.
I don't know where you're getting that information from.
No, I'm just saying that you say that LP is more efficient and that's their money maker, but that probably means that it's a rare resource.
I'm saying big oil has both the crude oil and the natural gas.
Either way, they're profiting.
They
Either
do
way,
both.
they're profiting, but the
Right.
reason that they're profiting is because they're making the petroleum more available than natural gas.
No,
Well,
yeah.
they're manipulating infrastructure to their advantage, wouldn't you
Yeah.
say?
Just like
Yeah.
Whatever it is they want to supply.
If you want to go down that rabbit hole,
I like rabbit holes.
you like rabbit
we
holes?
love rabbit holes.
Okay, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, so now how over the last few regimes, the last few presidencies, they've had to get more and more and more and more efficient cars, right? So each car manufacturer has to produce so many cars that get 40, 45 miles to a gallon, and each year it gets more stringent. This was all put together back a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Reaganomics. I'm not sure who actually signed in the bill that made them step up their
It was like a 70s
fuel
thing,
efficiency,
right?
huh?
It was like a 70s thing, right? Because there was a significant drop off in output of motors in muscle cars in the 70s.
No.
Or-
See, no, we're talking much more recent. We're talking about within your lifetime.
Oh, okay.
All right, but here's the thing. They've had the technology since the 60s and 70s to make cars more efficient simply by changing the fuel system. So the average carburetor is 5 to 7% efficient at delivering fuel that's convertible to energy.
So it's like 93 to 95% waste
Straight out the tailpipe.
through heat or whatever exchange.
Yeah. So the average fuel injection system until recently was only 15% efficient.
So better, but still far from efficient.
Right. So there were numerous cases of people who built their own fuel system that got infinitely much more, but they were suppressed by big oil companies. All right, but the government has,
I smell a sham.
Oh, definitely. Anything big oil or any big pharma or any of the big companies are involved in, it's going to be a sham. You can guarantee that. Fuel delivery systems back in the day were only 5 to 15% efficient, depending on what kind of fuel system you had. There were people who made their own fuel systems that got infinitely more with the same motor.
Okay.
Okay.
With the same motor. So
the
it
same
comes
motor.
down to fuel injection?
No, it comes down to, all right, so the fuel that burns is a vapor. The more vapor you can get into the combustion chamber and ignite, the more horsepower you're going to get for the amount of vapor, for amount of fuel.
Per unit.
All right, so if your fuel delivery system is only 5% efficient at delivering vapor, then only 5% of that energy is being expended at a time. All right, electrical vehicles, they produce 100% of their energy all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So, from their fuel source to the motor, yes, they're more efficient, but to get the fuel to their fuel source, no, they're not.
Okay.
But the government has stepped up, and more regulation, and more regulation, more regulation, and they actually put in a program. Every so many years they have to bring their fuel efficiency up, but they put in loopholes. Okay, not all of their vehicles that a manufacturer sells has to meet those criteria. Only so many. So they're subcompact, cheap.
So they just cop out with a certain sub-series of vehicles that they don't
Right.
really care about
So
selling
certain
to produce
models.
that quantity and then be able to produce whatever else they want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I see. That's
Yeah.
fascinating. I never knew.
Just like
if
meat.
if the regulations said that they had to have all of their vehicles up to that mark, then I'm sure they could manage, but the problem is Big Oil doesn't want them to.
So there's your manipulation aspect where
Yeah,
there's
Big Oil
allies
plays a
to
lot.
consume.
All of your big corporations play a lot. They have lobbyists, and they spend
the
a lot
best
of money
around.
on all of the candidates and all of the politicians and everything.
Can't even imagine how much money they throw at that.
Oh yeah, they throw more than a lifetime's worth.
Oh, I bet.
For all of us. They throw a lot away. So they do that so that they can continue making us consume more than is necessary, so that they keep making money.
More than what's necessary.
Right? So if they make us consume more than what's necessary, for as long as possible, they make more money for as long as possible.
Right.
Unfortunately, if you want to get into this whole green thing, that also makes us produce more greenhouse gases because we're being less efficient than we need to be.
Inherently. What do you think about all of that? What do you think about climate change? Poke the bear again.
Are you calling me a bear?
Well,
I'm significantly
you-
bigger than yourself, but I'm not a bear.
Well, you opened with the bear paws joke, and it kind of I internalized it.
You took it to heart, did you?
I did. Certainly
Yeah,
did.
poor little man. No,
It's just what stuck,
that's what he took out of this whole conversation. Even with the fighting the crawfish that
One of the
Josh did.
things.
That's the one thing he took out of this conversation, that I
One
opened
of.
with a stupid bear joke. And cut.
The Sham Show. Oh.
I had a boss tell me that I sounded like a space cowboy.
Fucking wank, didn't you?
No, she told me that I sound like a space cowboy. She says you sound like you're from the Middle West, but from the South at the same time. You're probably like a space cowboy or something. I said, that's a pretty cool idea. I like that.